What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NYPrepper. In this video, I want to talk to you about upgrades for your Glock pistol. And these are upgrades that I think every Glock owner should make to their Glock to make it 100% reliable and much more user-friendly. So what you're looking at here is my Glock 20 Gen 4. This one is a 10 millimeter, and I have a 30 round magazine, which is an upgrade that I recommend you have or you get. I think a 30 round magazine or a 33 round magazine for a 9 millimeter Glock is a no-brainer. One of the huge benefits of owning a Glock is that you can use these ultra high capacity magazines. If you're not worried about concealing, if you're carrying your pistol for duty use, or if you're in the wilderness and you need more capacity, I think it's a no-brainer. So that would be the first upgrade for your Glock, is buy yourself some high capacity magazines. And I'm talking about standard high capacity. I'm not talking about liberal state high capacity, which is basically standard capacity. I'm talking about beyond standard capacity. Standard capacity is usually around 17 rounds for a Glock, or 19, and a high capacity would be 30 plus. Okay, so that's the first upgrade. The next upgrade, in my opinion, is to do something with the grips. And a lot of people will send their Glocks off to custom grip companies that specialize in, etching out the grips and making them more grippy. But a simple solution that I found, if you have big hands like me, is to get these Hogue sleeves. And these are literally $25, and they slip right over the grip, okay? Glock grips are, in my opinion, terrible. They're okay, but they're very slippery because they're plastic, and they have these little square knurling, okay? But it just doesn't work good, in my opinion. So you want to put something on that grip to make it better, whether it's grip tape, whether it's etching. I really like these Hogue sleeves because they're cheap and they just feel really nice. That soft rubber, it's not too soft, it's soft enough to where it's kind of like sticky in your hand, it feels good. So that's the second upgrade, is to upgrade your grip, and I recommend this Hogue sleeve. Very cheap and works wonders. The third upgrade is your sights. The sights are going to be a little more expensive, but I have these Trijicon suppressor height night sights, and I recommend you get night sights. If you're carrying a pistol for self-defense, you definitely want night sights, because you have to anticipate that you're going to use your pistol for self-defense in low light situations. In fact, most self-defense situations, whether it's against two-legged threats or four-legged threats, usually happen in low light or no light conditions. Whether it's a bear attack, whether it's a mugger, a robber, a home break-in, usually happens in low light or no light. So you definitely want to have night sights. And I have suppressor height sights because I do have a suppressor that fits on this Glock. I have a Silencer Co. Hybrid 46. So I have these suppressor height sights to accommodate for the suppressor, which is not a mandatory upgrade, but it's definitely a nice upgrade. And the traditional factory Glock sights, in my opinion, are junk. They're made of plastic. They can break. But if you get yourself some good high quality night sights like these from Trijicon, they're made of steel, so they're very, very durable. And what's nice about the suppressor height sights is that you can actually rack the slide with the sight, okay? With the rear sight, you can rack the slide with this because it comes up so high. So you can push this down against, a table or a shelf or something, and you can rack the slide that way. I don't recommend that because you could throw off your zero, but in a worst case scenario, it could definitely save your life. So night sights, essential, high quality night sights. Ditch those cheap plastic Glock sights from the factory. Get yourself some metal, preferably steel night sights. These are made by Trigicon. Excellent sights. They got the white outlines for daytime use. Okay, that's the third upgrade. The fourth upgrade is get yourself a good quality light, and I prefer a Surefire, and this is the Surefire X300 Ultra. Okay, highly recommend this light. There's no laser on it, and I'm not a huge fan of lasers for self-defense because in a stressful situation you're not going to remember to turn the laser on. I'd rather have a good quality light that I know is not going to fail, and these Surefires have a great track record. So that's another upgrade, which is common sense. And now moving on to some other upgrades that I think are essential. We're going to go to the barrel. Okay, here I have a KKM barrel. This one is threaded to accept muzzle device, and so this is the KKM Precision barrel. Okay, they have all kinds of barrel lengths. They have threaded, they have non-threaded, they have long barrels, short barrels. So there's a lot of options there, but I really don't like the factory Glock barrels. If you're going to use a Glock for wilderness carry and you're going to be using hard cast loads, you definitely want to look at getting one of these KKM barrels because they have traditional rifling. They don't have that polygon rifling. The problem with polygon rifling is over time, if you use a lot of hard cast loads for bear defense, that hard cast lead could build up in the polygon rifling and it could cause overpressure and it could cause your barrel to blow up. It did happen a few times. I'm not saying that after just a couple of shots that's going to happen, but if you're going to be using a lot of hard cast loads or just any kind of lead that's exposed and not jacketed, you definitely want to consider getting one of these KKM barrels. And even if you're not going to be using your Glock for bear defense, these KKM barrels are just so much better than the traditional Glock barrel. They're just higher quality. They're stainless steel, so you don't have to worry as much about rust. The rifling is higher quality, tighter tolerances. It's going to make your Glock a lot more accurate. Okay. Now, the last upgrade that I want to mention is your guide rod. Okay. Factory guide rods from Glock are made of plastic and they have been known to break. Okay. So I upgraded my guide rod to a stainless steel guide rod from Centennial Defense Systems. Highly recommend that company. They shipped it out within the same week and I got it within 2 weeks. Okay, so Centennial Defense Systems, I'm not affiliated with them, but they have a great product. So let me just show you guys what I'm talking about. I'm going to take the slide off now. All right, so here's the Centennial Defense Systems guide rod, and this is solid steel. There's no plastic in here. This is a solid steel guide rod, stainless steel. All right, you don't want a guide rod that's going to break on you. So that's pretty much it, guys. That's what I think you should do to your Glock. Get an upgraded barrel, KKM Precision. Get yourself a steel guide rod or solid metal guide rod. Ditch the plastic guide rod. Ditch the cheap plastic factory sights. Get some metal night sights. Get yourself a good quality light. Get yourself a high capacity magazine. Do something with the grip, okay? So that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it useful. If you're interested in more Glock 20 content and more 10mm content, I'll leave a link in the top right corner of this video. Other than that, thanks for watching. Take care. God bless. And don't forget the 3 Ps. Prepare, practice, and persevere.